Hey everybody, welcome back to another Diecast review. Today we are taking a look at Kasey Kahne's 2013 Pocono race win. I have already, I believe, done the ARC in an earlier video, but today we are taking a look at the Elite that I have gotten in its place. So, we're going to go ahead and start by looking at the box. As you can see, I am missing the sleeve on this car, or on this box, so it is just the underbox with that standard Elite box, 1 of 110 for the Pocono Race Win Elites. But yeah, that's really all there is to see on the box there because there is no sleeve. It does come with 2 inserts. It comes with this here, which is a serial card or whatever, DIN 34 of 110, and just lets me know it is the Go Bowling 400 win. Then you also see the trophy there, Kasey Kahne standing next to it. Go Bowling actually sponsors the Glen more often than not now, so same trophy as what they get at the Glen. A couple little things different, of course, but started 18th, 9 cautions, led 66 laps of 160, so over half the race. Well, not over half the race, but close to it. I just remember this car was ridiculously fast. So if you guys don't remember this race, this was the race where he and Jeff Gordon had a restart. Jeff Gordon took the lead with about, 10 to go. Caution came out, and then with a green-white checker, Kahne on the restart. Oh, shoot, I don't have any cars with me. I was going to show you. Anyway, basically on the restart, Gordon got away by about a full car length. And then Kahne kind of just made a huge run into turn 1 on the outside, got up alongside him, and then cleared him by 3 car lengths through the tunnel turn. Like, they were side by side going in, and he cleared him by like 2 to 3 car lengths. And then, in a lap, he drove out to like, 3/4 of a second lead or something. So the car was ridiculously fast all day, but he lost his clean air on the second to last restart, and then was able to get it back and drive away on the last one. But I just remember that, like, the big run he made into turn 1 to get back alongside, and then through the tunnel turn to really send it off and run off with it. So it was cool that way. I didn't get to see it live. I remember being on a plane on the way to the what do they call it? The Caribbean islands at the time. So when we landed, we got there. I got on a laptop, hooked up to the internet, looked it up. Kasey Kahne had won. So a little disappointed I didn't get to see it, but I was happy he won, obviously. Anyway, let's get into the car here. So down the left side, you can see some rubber buildup on the front, but not much. It is Pocono, so it does stay fairly clean. A little piece of tape down there below the left front headlight. Got Hendrick Motorsports. Then you can see a couple little pieces of rubber, but otherwise pretty clean. You can see around the left front tire, we obviously have all the race markings on there. The left side panel, I guess. You can see the one thing I will say about this. A little bit of dirt on there, but otherwise pretty clean. The biggest thing between this one and the standard paint scheme is the door number is a lot taller. So you can see how big the number 5 is here. On the basic car that they made for the standard paint scheme, the number was really small on the door for some reason. I don't really like it. I don't know why they did it like that, but I do remember noticing that. You see Kasey Kahne on the name rail, a little crooked, but I'm okay with that. Farmers, Time Warner cable, great clips, and then the ethanol ring over here. More raced, or not raced, but the authentic markings on the tires. Get to the back, we got hashtag plan to perform. Number 5 on one side, quicker state on the other. HendrickCars.com and DIN 54. I thought it said 34. Inside the back, you can see we got our fuel cell, braces, and tethers. There's our fuel cell down there. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the roof. We got 2 roof antennas, our number 5, and then when we pop this one roof flap open, we do have the 2 tethers underneath as well. And you can see they kind of get stuck on stuff when they're trying to go back down. On to the right side, you can see a little bit of rubber on this corner panel from the burnout. Otherwise, very, very clean. A little bit of heat marks across the tailpipes, but again, very normal. Big number 5 on the door compared to the standard. So that's one of the biggest things that drew me to a car like this. I actually got it before the standard 2013 car because I always liked getting the race wins because they were more accurate. The door numbers were the right size. They had the sponsor was here. The other one had red roof rails. This one has black. Just little details that I think always made it look better because it looked closer to the one on track, and that's what I wanted. On the front here, you can see some rubber buildup on the right front corner. Get to the nose, you got a red splitter down below, and then you can just see little rubber chunks kind of all over. On the hood, the bottom of the hood, the top of the nose, you can just see the little chunks. So not too bad, not super dirty, but it is there, and it is a little bit noticeable. Windshield banner, we got Kahne, the 2 Chevy emblems, and you can see all the little tear-off strips across the top there. Also, this little window bar here, that's also unique to the race win. Across the front, you'll see Farmers Insurance, and you'll see that goes like all the way across the front. So Farmers Insurance goes all the way from like the fender all the way to the other fender. On the standard paint scheme, it only stays within the hood, so shrink that down to like this big, and it's much, much smaller. And that's why it looks so goofy. You had a tiny little logo here, tiny numbers on the side, so when you take all that into consideration, that's why I think this Pocono looks so much better. So if you're a person who just liked the paint scheme, but you want it to look closer to the one on track, the Pocono's the one for you, because again, they stretched the number on the hood, they stretched out the door numbers, made them look just the right size. They're not oversized. This is just the right size. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look under the hood of this Pocono Win here. There we go, got that popped open. So we do have our individual plug wires in there, braces and tethers. You can see we also got a coolant line, but otherwise it is tough to see. I don't have a great deal of light. Again, that's one of the things that my next setup is going to have. I'm going to get a light that shines straight under the hood for that exact reason. So we'll get there hopefully soon, but we're just not there yet. Underneath the car, you can see we got DIN 54 on the plate there. Working rear suspension along with all the components. It doesn't actually bounce, so maybe they're kind of wedged. I don't push too hard because I don't want to break them. Up at the front, transmission line, or different lines for the transmission, our tailpipes, and then the posable front wheels with all the engine detail underneath. Good, I didn't lose the antenna off the top. I thought I might. Yeah, the rear suspension is pretty stiff, so I'm not going to mess with it. Front suspension works pretty good, though. Overall, this is a real solid Kasey Kahne win. Again, not a lot of race detail to it, so there's not a bunch of markings or anything. It wasn't a crown jewel race like the Brickyard or the Coke 600. So it's definitely not the top tier. Probably not even the hardest Kahne win to find by any stretch, but getting the elite still took me a little bit to track down. So definitely, I think the elite's worth at least 100, and the ARCs are probably worth about 50 to 60. I mean, that'd just be my opinion on it. But anyway, that'll pretty much wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you remember this race in the final restart where Kahne rocketed around the outside of Gordon. If you're a Gordon fan, you might be a little disappointed, but I remember that very, very vividly. So. Anyway, that'll wrap it up. This has been Race Craze. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Diecast review.